Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So I'll be showing you guys a mural I just completed, so stay tuned for the rest of the vlog.
Hey, so I'm here in the studio. Also, I did my own hair a couple weeks ago. I did the goddess locks, but they're very tangled, so I have to do them again. But anyways, on to better news. So I had the wonderful opportunity to paint a mural at the Falstaff here in El Paso, Texas. I was recently commissioned by one of the owners to paint a mural in their space. And yeah, so I'm really thankful for the opportunity and a bit on the Falstaff. So the Falstaff is an organization that supports the arts here in El Paso, Texas. So they hold workshops, educator workshops, they programming, they also have art galleries within the space, there's also coffee shops, and there's food, and whenever there's an event happening, it's so lively. I actually went to an event last week and it was amazing. But overall, I am so excited that I had the amazing opportunity to paint a mural at the Falstaff. So stay tuned for my mural vlog. So welcome guys. So we are here at the mural location. This is the wall that I'll be painting. It is a 5 foot by 7 foot wall mural. And what makes this even more exciting is that the wall is so smooth. So, because usually the surfaces that I work on are really like bumpy textured or brick surface. So I'm really happy that this wall is smooth out. So yeah, instead of working with a harder texture, this would be easier for me to work on. So first things first, I do have my equipment here so that way I can get started on the grid. I'm thinking about doing the doodle grid only because it'll be easier for me to sketch out my design instead of using the box grid. This is a geometric mural, so we'll see. Okay, so how that goes. I'm going to start with the doodle grid. I'm going to show you guys how I go about doing that. It's really just letters and numbers or anything that I plan on putting on the wall. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my iPad and then take a photo of the wall. Then I'm going to transfer my design to that photo that I just took. That way I can see where I'll be painting. And then that's it. That's all I have to do. And after I have everything aligned, everything is settled, then I'll start sketching the design to the wall. So I did plan on using, in terms of like the design and sketching out the doodle grid, I usually use chalk, but I don't have to use color pencil unfortunately because I don't want to mess up this wall. Actually, yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be okay with the color pencil. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with that. And then what else do I need to mention before cutting off? I think that is it. Yeah, this is a very easy wall. It's very manageable. The only thing that I do need is a ladder. So my client is going to bring that over for me. That way I can get started on at least the top sector of the mural. And then I should be done by today because, this is a really small wall, as I mentioned before. It's a 5 foot by 7 foot. So, yeah, I should be done in the next like 4 or 5 hours, depending on my OCD, because I have, and my perfectionism, because I want everything to be perfect, which is great, but it's also a curse because, yeah, I can literally never get anything done because I want everything to be perfect. But yeah, I really want to take my time to really make sure that everything is aligned, and then I will be done. Okay, so this is the design that I usually supply my clients with 2 mock-ups. So this is the first one, oops, and then this is the second one. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. So this is the one that she wanted, and then this is the other one that I sent her. So yeah, this is what my mock-ups look like, just to give you guys an idea on how I work. It's very professional. So yeah, this is what it's going to look like. So yeah, I'm going to just do the doodle grid and then get started. Peace. So I'm gonna see if I could take a photo from here, because remember earlier I did state that I'm a little confined in terms of space, so we will see. God, this is not, I don't think this is gonna work, unfortunately. If not, then if I can't do the doodle grid, then I may have to do the square grid, which won't be a problem. I just like to work off like a more freeform process. I mean,
The thing that I've learned when starting a mural is making sure that you have a system set up and to be prepared for changes. Okay, so in this instance, I thought that I was going to work with a doodle grid, but due to the restriction in space, I could not do the doodle grid. So then I had to improvise and find another way to get my design onto the wall. So I ended up using the square grid, and that took me a couple of hours, which was very challenging, but we got the job done as always. But very, very important is making sure that you are prepared for those things.
so today is paint day, which is very exciting because I love this part the most out of all the murals that I paint. So I'm really excited to see what it looks like. And as I mentioned earlier, before, the walls are very smooth, so I can't wait for the application. In terms of the gridding, it took me about a full day. I'd say on average 6 hours, only because there was a mishap in terms of the gridding system. So the gridding system that I ended up doing was a square grid, which I usually don't like to use. I don't usually like to go with the square grid because it's a little tedious and it's a bit complicated in terms of like the math, because if the wall isn't equivalent, or at least the length and the width are not even, then I have to do extra math, which is something that I despise, honestly. I'm not that great at math, but we had to get it done. So yeah, I had to grid it out. Originally, I was going to do the doodle grid, but when you're working with the doodle grid, you need to have a little space between yourself and the wall. That way, when it's time to take a photo, then you can get a full view of the wall, which then will be easier for me to apply my mock-up with the doodle grid, and then I can figure out exactly where things are supposed to go. So in this case, that wasn't possible because I am confined in terms of space. So for example, if I were to move back here, I'm already hitting the sink, and this is a bathroom. So, okay, let's wait for the train to pass. Yeah, so that was the only challenging part of it all. Like, it did go smoothly in the beginning, but it got much harder because I really had to make sure that all of the grids or boxes were aligned and even. So yeah, that alone took like 6 hours, and I'm not gonna lie, you guys, it was very, very difficult because the math wasn't mathing, okay? So I had to improvise and had to do a lot of erasing and back and forth, but I'm happy at the final result. We have a full design. There's a few designs, or there's a few sketches that I do have to touch up on just to make sure that everything is aligned and even. So I'm gonna take some time to do that. And then after I am confident with the design, then I'll get straight to painting, which is the exciting part. But first, actually, before I get started painting, I do have to tape up areas because this is a very white bathroom. So it'll suck if I get paint on areas that are not supposed to be painted. So yeah, I'm gonna take some time to get some tape over here on the edge, for example, on the top here, the bottom, and then also shield this area here because I know that I'm gonna get paint somewhere. So yeah, I'm gonna like tape up this area on the bottom part. Just make sure that everything is plastic out. That way I don't get it anywhere. Because we don't want that, right? And also the mirror. I do have to figure out how I'm going to block this mirror from paint getting on it. But I'm sure I'm not gonna get paint on it because I know that I can't get paint on it. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that that doesn't happen. And yeah, so looking at it now, I'm very confident. There were some, decisions I wanted to make that, well, not decisions, but I wanted to change a few things. So just from looking at it now, I haven't been here in like 4 days, but now looking at it, I feel a little bit more confident in the sketch. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the painting. Well, setting up first. And then I'm gonna get started painting. Peace.
Very important tip for those that want to start painting murals. Before getting started on any mural, please make sure that you are wrapping up your spaces to protect it from paint. There are times to where you are painting. I'm sure that when you are painting, paint will get places. So you really want to make sure that you are wrapping your spaces to avoid paint spills or paint splatters. And even if there is paint in some areas, it'll be an easier cleanup. So yeah, make sure you guys get some wrap to wrap up your spaces.
I finally finished taping up the very important areas. That way I don't get paint on the areas that I'm not supposed to. I'm really good at not doing that, but I still wanted to make sure, because you never know. So I took about 15 minutes to do this part. I also did set up some tarp here. That way when I do paint, it doesn't get on the floors, because that would be horrible. And I did mention earlier, these are really white walls, so any paint will be noticeable. So yeah, I made sure that I took the time to really thoroughly just get through the creases and make sure that when I am painting, it doesn't get on the places that I'm not supposed to get paint on. So the next step is to create a more visual sketch. So I'm gonna go ahead and just like touch up some areas and make sure that as I am painting, I can see what I'm painting, and really just be sure of the design, because I would hate to start painting and the design doesn't come out as I want it to look, or doesn't look identical to what I have for my original design. So yeah, I like to take the time to do just that. And luckily this is a geometric mural, so it doesn't really require that much detail. However, it does get, it's pretty much the same as a detailed mural, only because you have to really make sure that everything is, aligned and even. You can tell if it's not even, if it's just like, areas where it's not straight or curved.
You guys, we've made it to day 3. Despite day 1 and day 2 being a somewhat so we managed to get it done. Okay, so day 1 and day 2, gritting, trying to figure things out and making things work. And we've made it here, right here to the painting stage, which is my favorite part. I love painting, especially on smooth walls, because I don't have to worry about bumpy textures, rough textures. So this wall was a plus. Okay, so we got everything done. I got all my materials. I ended up finishing the first half in like less than 2 hours, because I am a pretty fast painter, and I was using tape throughout the mural just so that I'm not spending too much time on one area. But we got there, you guys. Round of applause.
Update on the mural. So we're almost done, believe it or not. I have like 3 or 4 hours left. I've been here since 9. I think it's 2:30 right now. And what I'm going to do is just finish this top area here, and then also just fill in like some more shapes, and then get some more tape and start taping around areas so that way I can clean them up. I thought about using tape before the mural, but since it's a little bit more detailed, so I couldn't put tape. However, throughout the process, I was able to just like use tape in areas where I felt obviously would be necessary, and of course quicker, because work smarter, not harder. And what else? Yeah, so far so good. I am missing a color, so I do have to do some mixing right now. I do have to color this into like a light pink, so I'll just like blend in like a beige and like a darker pink, and then get the color that is on my iPad.
So this is what the mural looks like so far, and so far so good. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I was not sure on how this mural was going to come out because of the doodle grid mishap. So yeah, I had called my husband. I was like, babe, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if we're gonna get there. this is gonna take longer than 3 days. I'm freaking out. And of course, he made me feel better and told me, hey, look, baby, as always, these things happen and always turns out to be great. So don't worry, keep going and you'll be fine. And yeah, I did just that, despite freaking out and having many anxiety attacks throughout the process. And I think I teared a little bit because I was so frustrated. You ever get so frustrated and you start like crying a little bit? That's just me. But yeah, I was so frustrated, but I had to get it together and make this work. So yeah, here is what the mural looked like so far, and I am so excited. I was so excited. I was so proud. It was like a breath of fresh air, you guys. It's like, have you ever like gone through one of your paintings and like throughout the process you're like, oh wait, this is not gonna come out right, like this is gonna come out looking cray. So I think it's more so just trusting the process and just going through it, you know? So I had to tell myself that the entire time, and I managed to come out with a killer mural, which was a showstopper. My client loved it, which was very important. So we managed to get it done. And this is the final look of the mural. I want to thank you guys for watching my mural video. I want to do more like this, so stay tuned, and a quick selfie with my twin. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.